Welcome. Good evening. I'm Miss Jill, and this is In the Know, brought to you by O&V. Success is not measured by the position that one has reached in life, rather by the obstacles one overcomes while trying to succeed. Booker T. Washington said that in honor of Black History Month, and I want to remind you that it is always Black History Month here in the Neutral Voices studio, as Black history is American history. We do have some guests with us this evening that I would like to welcome. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. Hey, we in the house.
Our guests this evening come to us from the Black College Club. So I'm going to let each of them kind of introduce themselves and talk a little about their affiliation with the club, starting with Ms. Moore.
Good evening. Thank you for having me here tonight. I'm LaDon Moore. As we said, I am co-president of Black College Club here in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Thank you for being here again. We welcome you back.
Thank you.
Good evening. Thanks for having me. I'm Jason Jordan. I'm director of team programming for the Boys and Girls Club, and also I'm partnered with the Black College Club.
Thank you.
Hello and good evening. I'm Michelle King, and I am also co-president with LaDon of the Black College Club.
Well, we thank you for being here. I want to start out.
Wait, I don't get to introduce myself.
Oh, you don't get to be. You know what? You've had enough introductions.
Not only the introduction, but let me do this before we get started. Rep your school. Tell me where you're from.
The Wilberforce University. You should have been a Bulldog.
And I'm proud to say that I went to the Alabama A&M University, the most prestigious HBCU in the country.
I ain't even gonna argue with that. Can you say that again for those that didn't hear them?
Alabama A&M University, Huntsville, Alabama.
And of course, they saved the best for last. I attended Florida A&M University, and that's the best college. Everybody knows that. I don't have to say it.
No. I got to disagree. I had to disagree. You know, because I think Jason said it. The most prestigious Black college.
But it depends on who you asking.
College love at the end of the day.
Depends on who you asking. What day you asking them. What time of day.
That's why he's in the booth. That's why he's in the booth. So before we get started, let's talk a little bit about the history of the club. I know that it was established in the late 90s by Mr. Kevin Howell and Brenda Robinson to expose and support the understanding of HBCU, historically Black colleges and universities, for young people in the Fort Wayne community. That's just a little snippet of the history. If somebody wants to tell us a little bit more about the history in detail of the Black College Club.
You pretty much said the gist of it. Kevin Howe and Brenda Robinson, both alumni of Black University themselves, they had this. They both had the same idea going at different times. And 1997 is when primarily the first tour evolved. And 98 was one did a tour in 97, the other did a tour in 98 different times, and then they joined forces because they, were better together than apart and able to serve more youth in the community, which is what they did for years with the last tour ending around 2016, I think. Over the years, they have taken buses and buses of youth to different states, different universities, exposed, experience, education. They did all of that. I am a recipient of those tours myself. Because of them, I was also exposed to what's out there beyond Fort Wayne, Indiana, at a HBCU. And my first trip, I was hooked. So we're just hoping that we can do the same thing. Those are big shoes to fill. Right. Right, because they did a whole lot, but we're hoping over the years we can achieve just a little bit of that. If we do that, that's half the battle right there.
Amen. Jason, were you also a part of a tour when you were younger?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
Actually, I went to A&M out of Snyder High School. But I started my journey doing HBCU tours actually when I was at the Urban League in 2017.
Okay.
And that's how we collabed later on. Like, at the Boys and Girls Club, we collabed together, and that's how we put the trips together.
Perfect. Michelle, were you involved in any of these tours?
I was.
Okay.
So I guess the first incoming class, if you I guess if that's what you would call it. Myself, LaDon, Jamila, that's Miss Robinson's daughter, Sabrina Kelsaw, and Lisa Pearson. It was 5 of us, and it was Mrs. Robinson and Mr. Robinson. They took my parents' van and, village. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It started early. They took my parents' conversion van. Remember the ones back in the day?
Yeah,
Yes.
the vans.
Yeah. They had the TV, and we drove all over the South. Yeah, I mean, we really were strategic. We optimized our week. I don't even know. How many schools did we ended up going to, LaDon?
We were gone for about 5 days. We hit several universities.
We were in Atlanta. I know we went to Clark. I know we went to North Carolina A&T. I know we went to Florida A&M. But we went to more. It was so long ago. But they were very strategic, and we really, like I said, optimized our time, and it was wonderful. And I'm glad my parents were like, yes, let's collaborate and make this happen.
Right, absolutely. LaDon, I know you've said before what your experience was when you went on your first tour and when you got on campus, and you talked before about an immediate kind of a feeling that you received. Can you talk a little bit about that sense of belonging and just kind of explain what that felt like?
Well, I'll start at my beginning. My beginning was a predominantly black elementary school at Bunch University. I mean, it was a university then. Bunch Elementary, but it was a university. And from there, I transitioned into predominantly white schools, Jefferson and Northrop. And so going from there to a campus where it's a sea of people that look like you in all different shades of melanin, the band, right? The fashion, it's just different levels to who we are, and to see that, it was something that instantly I wanted to be a part of. Right? Is not. I mean, other than television and seeing what was it? A different world. Because I loved watching A Different World. Right? So it was legit a different world in real life.
Absolutely.
And so you were able to experience it in real time, in real life, and it was like, oh, this does exist.
Yeah, it was it.
So immediately. And, I didn't come from a family that went to college. I was the first. So to go back so excited and to share all of that with my mother, my siblings, my cousins, it probably went on for days, right? So I was forever grateful for that experience. Simultaneously, while Ms. Robinson was taking a smaller group, Mr. Howell was taking a bus, right? So this same year, it was a lot of me's experiencing that for the first time. So it was a wonderful thing. I would never forget it.
Yeah. And I remember, the reason I bring it up is we've had LaDon on before, and she spoke of this, about the experience. And I think that's important for people to know that it truly is an experience, and it truly is a sense of belonging. Obviously, I can't speak for myself, but hearing you speak of that for the first time, I think it was last year or the year prior, you were very passionate about it and excited, even still after time has gone by, and even as you just told the story.
Absolutely.
So that's why I bring that up, because I think it's very important to talk about how everything encompasses that.
It definitely changed. It definitely changed a lot of things for me. And even once you graduate, the relationships that you develop and you have for a lifetime. I travel many states of the U.S. and rarely do I need to sleep in a hotel.
Yeah, right.
Right? So, and then you become a part of their families. So you get all of this. And like I said, it's different levels. Right? You may have people that come from families that is legacy.
Sure.
This is where you're going. This is what you're doing.
Yeah.
I was a victim of that, but
you may have families where, like
Yeah.
myself, that wasn't a thing.
Yep.
I was the first, so I was kind of going in blind, and you have everything in between. So, and that's what an HBCU is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
I have a question along that same line to either one of you that want to answer. What experience do y'all get when y'all expose somebody that may have never been out of Southeast Fort Wayne, but y'all put them on that bus and y'all take them to a city and you take them to a campus and their eyes light up? What experience, name an experience or a time that y'all felt something when you saw a young person light up by seeing this experience?
Well, I think it's important because representation matters, right? But not only representation, but retention. And when you put kids on a bus and they go out of town and they see young people look like them, and sometimes when we go to some campuses, they see students suited and booted in suits and ties
Right.
going to class.
Right.
That matters. And that makes the light bulb go off in their head saying, I can do that too.
Right.
Yes.
I can see myself on a college campus. That's the biggest enjoyment we get out of this, is just seeing students, seeing themselves in the future and seeing people like them walk across a college campus.
Of course, of course. So now that we know a little bit about your own personal experiences and a little bit about what the club stands for, let's talk about what the club does. I know we have an event coming up. I know we have some workshops. I know there's a lot involved. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about what happens at the club.
We could talk about the workshops later, but you want me to talk about the tour? Oh, I mean the fair. Jason will talk about the tour. So we have our second annual HBCU fair. It will be March 15th, 12 to 3, and it'll be held in the gymnasium of the Boys and Girls Club. There will be door prizes and raffles. We will have a live DJ there. We will have about 12 colleges. Do you guys want me to mention the colleges?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, absolutely. We're going to have Hampton there, Wilberforce, Clark Atlanta, Wiley College, Howard University, Miles College, FAMU, of course, Grambling, Norfolk State, Central, Alabama A&M. Sorry about that. It was not on purpose. It was not on purpose. And TSU. And I know we want to have some group. We'll have Greeks out there. Jason, you can go ahead and put your plug in.
Yes,
Go
the
ahead.
Divine Nine has also been invited to come out and reach out to young people and tell them what the organizations are all about. So I know definitely Phi Beta Segment will be in the house, as long as other Divine Nines have been also invited. And also we have 2 other schools that will be there too. Fisk University and Texas Southern will also be there. So students are encouraged to bring your transcripts. Seniors, bring your transcripts so you can apply to universities on the spot and hopefully get accepted.
Because we will have in-person applications available.
Oh, wow. That's
Oh,
good.
absolutely.
That's good.
Okay, so bring transcripts. Again, that's March 15th. 12 to 3 at the Boys and Girls Club. That address is 2609 Fairfield Avenue. Says sponsored by the Jim Kelly Pathway Career Center, Indiana Black Expo Fort Wayne Chapter, and the Black College Club.
As well as the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah,
Just
right.
wanted to say that.
But one thing I like, because I was at the fair last year. Miss LaDon gave me a hard time the whole time I was there. But I was at the fair last year.
We
But
do
what
appreciate you guys showing up.
Yes, but what I like is y'all bring people that are from here back here to rep the schools in which they attended. Is that going to be part of the program again this year?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's what I was saying earlier. Representation matters. So not only it matters, like if you go on a tour and you see people, but people from Fort Wayne that actually went to that university, to have them tell you firsthand of what their experience was, means everything to young people.
Yeah, because a friend of mine that I graduated from high school with, Terrell May, he was representing
Grambling.
Grambling. Yeah, and I remember when we were deciding schools, he said he was going to Grambling, and I went to A&M, but he's got to Grambling, and he said that, as LaDon said, that experience changed his life, you know, seeing the representation, seeing the lifestyle, seeing the differences of us on a wide scale like that.
Yeah, that's one thing. I'm sorry, but that's one thing that we all share is our passion and the experiences
Right.
of going to HBCU. It's almost like we kind of all went to the same school because of our passion and love
Right.
for the experience.
Yeah.
That's how it really is, though, Jason. Even though we tease each other, it
Yeah.
really is HBCU love.
Right.
Like you went to a HBCU, you're gonna have love for another.
You already know exactly what it is
You know
without
what
saying
it
a
is.
word.
Exactly.
It's communicating without ever saying a word. And we will have some representation from the schools, a couple of the schools, in which we try to have that because they can be a little bit more detailed. But until we get to that point, we'll do what we can.
Right.
And the next best thing is to have people from Fort Wayne, Indiana, or near cities to rep that school, and they can do just as well.
Yes.
One thing I'd like to mention is just shout out a couple of our Boys and Girls Club, Black College Club students. They
Yes.
will be, a few of our students will be vending there. They have their own small businesses, and so we thought it would be wonderful to have them.
That is. That's great. That's wonderful. I know, Jason, it says that if they have any questions that they could reach out to you via phone at 260-744-0998, extension 208. You also left an email address, and that is jajordan@bgcfw.org. And that brings me to my next question. So, do people have to register? Do they just show up? Do they have to do anything prior, or just show up at the door?
Well, actually, they can attend one of our workshops that we have monthly at the Jim Kelly Pathway Center. We have an application for the Black College Club that they can fill out,
Okay.
and that's how they become a member.
Okay. How would they attend? How would they find out about these workshops? Still reach out to you with the number and email, or is there other ways of doing so?
They can reach out to me by email or the number.
Okay.
And I advertise at schools, also high schools, our monthly workshops. So
Gotcha. And we keep talking about the workshops. Let's talk about. I think Michelle's excited to talk about
What I was
the
going to
workshops.
say, I'm sorry. I was just going to jump in.
No, go
that,
ahead.
Our Instagram account
Oh yeah.
yes, and Facebook.
and Facebook.
And that's under.
That's Black College Club _ Fort Wayne.
Gotcha.
Oh, I'm sorry, FW.
Okay. And that's
Yes.
Instagram.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then Facebook, you said
It
is
is the same.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
So a member can inbox.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And we usually post the season of workshops on those outlets, social media outlets as well.
Perfect.
But to make it really simple is, with the exception of this week, we have it Thursday, but typically it's every third Monday of the month.
Okay.
From
the
five
gym?
at the Jim Kelly Center from 5 to 6:30.
And what could those workshops look like? What would somebody expect without giving away the whole? We want people to show up and find out, but a little snippet of what to expect.
No, absolutely. We've had skill trade individuals come in, young men as well as seasoned union members come and talk to our kids about skill trade, because yes, we are Black College Club, but essentially we are about loving on these kids and helping them with whatever plan they have
For sure.
post high school.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Whatever they want to do, we want to be there. So we've had that. We've had vision board. We've of course done FAFSA workshops. The one this Friday is a financial workshop, and definitely, I'm sorry, this Friday. It is Thursday, the 20th, at the Jim Kelly Career Pathway Centers. Excuse me. And it is a financial workshop, and we'll actually have a young lady coming out talking about jobs specifically for teens in the summer before they go to college. So that's just some of our workshops, but we have more as well.
Yeah. Now, what is the participation? I understand y'all are trying to get people in it. What is your participation? Have you seen a growth from when you reinstituted it? I'm not going to say started it back up, but
No,
when you
that's good.
reinstituted it, have you seen growth? Are you seeing a growth in participation? I know at the Black College Club, at the fair last year, they came in droves, but it was steadily busy.
Yeah.
So have you seen a pickup in your memberships or your participation?
So since the reboot that Michelle and I did back in 22, I think it was 22, we have seen an increase in numbers. Obviously, those numbers aren't where we would want them to be because there's such a need. I do like the participants that we've had this year. They are very regular. So, like seeing that. But we definitely encourage our participants to bring a friend. Anybody who knows a teenager, a youth, give them our information. I want this to be so big to where we may have to cut some things off.
Yeah.
Right, and we're not there yet.
I'm sorry. At what age do you start?
Primarily, we do high school. We have been considering and going back and forth with 8th graders, but there's a whole different conversation that you have to have with that, intermingling 8th graders with high schoolers, specifically if you have a senior, for tours and things like that.
Makes sense. Let's talk a little bit about the support from the community. This takes a lot, these workshops, these events. A lot of times people don't realize all that goes into that. So let's say that someone is watching and, maybe they want to help, they want to support. We always talk about, support our community, support everything that's going on. So in what ways can the community support the organization?
You want to take it? I can go first. Everyone can speak. I would say support looks like spreading the word, old school word of mouth. Yeah. Even if you don't have a student, if you know someone, like LaDon said, that has a student that is in our demographic, at least 8th grade to high school, and they are interested in college, whether it's a PWI or HBCU, have them come to us. Tell us, send them to us. Send them to our social media outlets. Support, of course, also looks like funds and money. To run any organization, you have to have money.
Yes.
Right.
So, of course, we do fundraise. We don't just, sit around and wait for money to come to us. But we do fundraise. But money is always wonderful. What else would you guys mention?
I would say support also, to me, it goes back also to representation, right? We have a lot of alumni from HBCUs in Fort Wayne that we would love to come back and talk to some of our students.
Yeah.
Right.
Let them know about your experiences, let them know how it was. It's one thing coming from us, but they see us a lot. But from other alumni, other professionals, reach out to us. We can get you in front of some young people.
Of course.
Pour life into them.
Yeah, where do I come? I know Miss LaDon ain't gonna let me talk too much, but where do I come? Who do I come talk to?
You come talk to any one of us, but we can definitely love to have you scheduled for one of our workshops. That'd be awesome.
I would love to.
And make sure you wear that shirt too.
Oh, most definitely.
Okay.
And I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. Our plan is to have a HBCU alumni association, like as a parent organization to Black College Club.
Which brings to my point, anybody who was a part of the Black College Club tours or anything, they know what it did for them. So if you have kids of that age that fits our demographic, send them out. Send them to us. We're not reinventing the wheel.
Yeah, right.
The blueprint was already there. We're just getting it back running. So you've already experienced it. You already know what it was and what it did for you. Bring your youth back out because this community needs it.
Yes.
Right.
It's a lot of things going on in the news these days. If anybody watch the news or read the newspaper, and our kids are getting younger, committing crimes, doing things they shouldn't be involved in, and we want to just create a safe place, right? To love on them, like Michelle said, to expose them, like Jason said, to give the experience, and we can't do that without the community.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So when we are talking about the club specifically, do you need volunteers, let's say, for these events? Do you need more people, and again, this is the club specifically. If somebody wants to, help out for the events, can the parents get involved? Let's talk a little bit about that.
Absolutely. I mean, all hands on deck, of course. If there are people that want to come and volunteer with us, we are absolutely open to that.
And typically we like for people in the community to facilitate our workshops that we have, so that the youth they aren't always hearing us speak.
Sure.
They see us all the time. So to get a new fresh face in there so they can see what's going on in the city and people they don't naturally see. So if there's anything, if you go on to our social media and there's any workshop and you have a specialty or something you can bring to the table in either one of those workshops, please reach out to us. You can leave an email, message, or whatever, and we'll get back to you.
Before we get out of here, I want to ask a question, and I know it's going to sound political in nature, but it's where we are in our world right now. With DEI being eliminated and positions and things or opportunities to other universities and everything, how relevant or important is the HBCU now?
Go ahead, Jason. Yep.
It's more important ever than right now. I saw today that they passed where $600 million were cut. I saw that today. So it's more important ever. The HBCUs are like a lifeline now. So it's more important than ever right now.
Better start looking to your HBCUs because, I mean, it is political.
Yeah.
It is political. And they are going to stop accepting us. And that's what it boils down to. It may not be reported, but that's going to start happening because of what they've already put in place. I mean, that is what's going to happen. But maybe it'll bring us together.
I'm hoping.
Yeah, a phrase comes to my mind: accept your own and be yourself, and that's what it's coming to.
I love it.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about the future goals. I know someone had mentioned what you would like to see in terms of the growth. Do you have anything coming up, or any place that you would like to be in the next couple years that maybe you can kind of share a vision with us?
Great question.
About the tour that
We have a HBCU tour coming
Short
up.
term.
Short-term goal. We have HBCU coming up this spring break, and we'll be visiting Howard University, Morgan State University, Coppin State, and Bowie State, as well as doing some African American museums too. So that's be this spring break for
that's coming up
short
quick.
future. Yeah, that's the spring break.
I would say maybe if you were talking about maybe more long-term goals, I'm just going to put it out in the atmosphere. These are some of the things we've talked about. Like I already mentioned, we definitely want an HBCU alumni association here, not only just for Black College Club, but for us, so we can, so that we know each other, and then we can start building together. Long term, we want to have a set of annual investors.
Okay.
And we have a couple things that are slowly in the works with that. Another thing is, eventually, I know we had discussions about at least tapping into the kids at least at some point in the summer, because we do mainly. No, we're just during the school year. It's not even mainly during the school year. We function during the regular school year. So maybe reach out to them, field trip or something during the summer. So if I had to say 3 long-term goals, that's what they would be.
Gotcha. Thank you. Thank you for that. I do want to thank all 4 of you, for being, I can't leave the booth out, for being with us this evening, and also for your commitment to the community. This isn't something that you have to do. It's something that you're passionate about and something that you love to do, and anybody can tell that just by sitting here and listening to you speak. So thank you for your commitment to the community. Thank you for being here. And before we exit, LaDon, if you could just look into the camera, and maybe somebody out there is watching and they are kind of hesitant about HBCU, or they know after listening to you guys speak, they know it's probably the right route to take, but what advice could you give to somebody who's kind of still on the fence?
The best advice I can give someone is to ask questions, research. Google is out there, and come to the club.
Right.
We like to get those individuals who are ignorant about
Yes.
what, and ignorant not in a bad,
Of course.
a negative way, but just don't know, because we love to love on them and tell them all about it, right? And it doesn't matter what your financial background is. There's universities out there of all, statutes, sizes, things to offer you. So you can there's one out there for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Just figuring out which one is the one for you.
Yes.
But ask questions first and do your own research. And like I said again, come to the Black College Club. We'd love to have you.
Come to the Black College Club.
And end up on Alabama A&M's campus.
With that being said, we want to thank you for being with us tonight. We ask you to join us tomorrow at 8:30 as we discuss what Clarence was speaking on earlier. It's going to be quite a discussion talking about some of these changes in the political realm, because that's what it is. So again, success is not measured by the position that one has reached in life, rather by the obstacles that one overcomes while trying to succeed. We thank you for being here with us. We want to remind you to always protect your mind. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A podcast by Neutral Voices Media Group. In the Know.